Spring is in bloom in our nation's capital, and it's starting to feel a little like spring. Beautiful weather here in Washington, D.C. We have Game 2 of our series between the Braves and the Nationals from Nationals Park. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe, welcome back to the ballpark. A tough game for Atlanta. Max Scherzer was superhuman. He beat the Braves by a final score of 2-0, a complete game shutout. 10 strikeouts and no walks. We figure to see a lot of fastballs today, and hopefully, Joe, this trend of excellent starting pitching will continue for the Braves, a trend that started in Mike Foltynewicz's last start,
in which he beat the Washington Nationals and Max Scherzer at SunTrust Park. He was outstanding and relying on his fastball for the most part, as you're seeing right here. Had excellent command working both sides of the plate. Got Bryce Harper a couple of times. That was the first time all season that Bryce Harper had struck out. Just a wonderful pitching performance by Mike. And what we're seeing here is a bit of a transformation on this guy. Not just in his mechanics, where he's shortened up his windup. Just his overall personality, his confidence, his attitude. You can see a change in this guy. He's really growing up. He's had good luck against Washington in his last 3 starts. Let's hope he can find a way tonight to best Steven Strasburg, who's also on quite a roll.
Strasburg is rolling, one of the best pitchers in baseball, dating back to mid-July last year. Let's see, though, if the Braves can continue a trend of good luck against him. It's Game 2 of our series in Washington. We'll have lineups, first pitch, and Kelsey after the break.
To you by the Georgia Lottery and by the All-South Highway Safety Team. The All-South Highway Safety Team reminds you to play it safe by always wearing your seatbelt.
What a difference a day makes in Washington, D.C. It's 53 degrees and clear. Forecast is for diminishing temperatures overnight, but we should be out of the woods weather-wise today and tomorrow as we wrap up our series here in Washington. The Braves will try to get on the board here in D.C. tonight with this lineup as presented by Braves manager Brian Snitker. Enciarte, Albies, and Freeman, first, second, and third. Markakis, Tucker, Dansby, Swanson, and Flaherty, Perez, and Mike Fultonevich. If you saw fastballs last night from Max Scherzer, you're going to see plenty more tonight with Steven Strasburg pitching for the Nationals.
Yeah, it's literally out of the frying pan into the fire because they both throw so hard. But take a look at these numbers on Strasburg. His second half last year, 6-1 with a sub-1 ERA, a sub-200 average against him. And you saw him in the postseason, Chip. He carried that right on into the postseason for the Nationals. It wasn't his fault they didn't advance.
Well, all that talk of Strasburg's quirks, peculiarities, it's too hot, it's too cold, it's too sunny, I'm pitching in a foreign mound. None of that took place in the playoffs. He was as good as I've ever seen him and almost carried Washington into the National League Championship Series.
Well, he still throws hard. He doesn't throw 100 miles an hour anymore, but he's got better command. 6'5", 235, 29 years old, out of San Diego.
And he'll face Ender Inciarte with that modified windup. And the first of the night for Strasburg, a blistering fastball, and we are underway. 52 degrees officially at first pitch, as Ender, batting .209, goes to work first and took a knee-high strike. Slow starts are nothing new for Ender. We told you last night, a .230 hitter in April of last season. He ended up with 201 hits. And this one's sky to straightaway center, where Michael Taylor retreats a step or two, and he's got it for out number one.
His windup, if you want to call it that, really is the stretch, because he comes to a complete pause. At least he did on Ender before he goes into his leg kick.
But still, Joe, able to generate such amazing velocity against the National and American League hitters. Here's Ozzie hitting .227 for the year. The Braves second baseman has 3 homers, 6 RBIs. And he almost got hit. 1 ball, no strikes.
You can see he comes set after he gets his foot planted, so there's no real continuous motion in his windup.
Swing and a drive, hammered deep toward right. Long run, and Harper can't get it. It's up against the fence. Ozzie's lost the helmet. He's around second. He's going to go for 3. And now he's going to slam on the brakes as he lost his footing around the second base bag. And he'll settle for a 1-out double to right. That is one strong young man.
And a nice easy swing again, too. Something that was down, and he dropped the barrel on it. When it got over Harper's head, he was off to the races without his helmet. But right here, Defoe did not know that he had stumbled, and they were going to third base. So they had him, and he was fortunate to get back.
So an early chance for the Braves against Strasburg. Freddie Freeman's the batter. Right guy, right spot. Freddie has not seen many strikes thrown to him this year. He has walked 13 times, second only to Bryce Harper's 16 in the National League. As Severino will make a mound visit here. So charge one of those to the Nationals. But when teams have pitched to Freddie with runners in scoring position, Joe, he's made them pay, and paid dearly here in the first 11 games.
Well, we talked about Nick Markakis and his success against Strasburg. He's on deck. That may be in their mind, too. Normally, it would be pretty much automatic for them to pitch around Freddie. Put him on.
Freddie's 15 for 40 against Strasburg with 4 homers. And now Albies is going to try to steal third, and he's going to be out. And Albies might have gotten stepped on as he slid headfirst into the third base bag. Albies tried to break from second and steal third, and got banged up as Rendon applied the tag.
Broke a little too soon. don't know if he hit his head on the knee of Rendon, who also was kind of limping a little bit.
And I think the Braves going to challenge this. I think they believe Ozzie got his right hand in under the tag. And C.B. Buckner, the umpire at third, is the man that called him out. Ball clearly beat him, but the Braves are going to challenge this call at third base. Safe or out?
High throw. And he did not hold the tag on him. Ozzie came off the base, but the tag is not still applied. I think they may have a good cause here. Good angle there.
Now the question is there enough evidence to change the call first? And then secondly, we had a replay issue last night. We were wondering why the Braves weren't challenging the pickoff of Anthony Rendon with Julio Teheran on the mound last night. It was brought to our attention today by our great director Mike Miller that Major League Baseball's replay center did not have the Braves angle on that play, and so the Braves dugout didn't have a chance to use that angle to initiate a challenge. Fortunately, nothing came of it.
This appears to be a tag while his hand's on the base, and then his hand came off the base, but the tag is not still on him.
What an interesting play, though, with Freeman up there and in scoring position already as Albies, and he tries to steal third with Strasburg looking right at the third base bag.
Well, he took a big chance after Steven had come set.
So a very long review by either New York or San Francisco. I'm not sure which replay center has our game tonight. And this is a big play, obviously. Albies will either be the second out or he'll be at third base for Freeman, where a fly ball could put Atlanta in front. And you can see the agitation of Strasburg waiting for the decision to be made on this cold night. And he is out. So a long review. Albies called out at third base. And that takes him out of scoring position with Freddie Freeman in the batter's box.
It's one of those cases where he will be reminded that if you try to steal third, especially with Freddie up there, you better make it.
And so now Strasburg can pitch very carefully to Freeman if he so desires. Ball two. Shift on for Freddie. He's got the whole left side to play with. Trying to go that way, and it's out of play. 2-1. Last night, Max Scherzer made a living in the upper reaches of the strike zone. I would assume that's got to be part of Strasburg's game plan in game two.
As long as he's using his other pitches to set that up.
Three balls, one strike. Got a corner called.
His last start against the Mets, he got beat 8-2. 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs. He gave up 2 homers. Walked 2, struck out 6.
Freddie just did get a piece of that to stay alive. And another full count pitch coming up.
Good curveball.
And Freeman walks yet again, number 14. So a fly out to center, a double. Albies thrown out trying to steal third base. That's the second out. Now Freeman walks and Nick Markakis is coming up. But for Strasburg, it really is pick your poison. You want Freeman or do you want Markakis? And Nick, subject of our opening commentary, also our Georgia Lottery jackpot feature.
He doesn't care who's out there or how good you are.
Line drive into center, right at Taylor, who's got it, and the side is retired. An ill-advised attempt to steal third cost the Braves in the first. Strasburg, and the Nats coming up. As he squares off with Steven Strasburg. There are Mike's career numbers against the Washington club.
Very good numbers, 3-2, high ERA, but he's survived that. And his 4 keys to pitching success tonight. Fastball command, you saw some of that in the video we showed from his last start against them at SunTrust Park. And the top 2 guys in the order that are now Brian Goodwin and Trey Turner. Got to try and keep those 2 guys off the bases. They will run.
And a lineup change for the Nationals about 45 minutes ago. Adam Eaton was originally in the starting 9. Eaton injured his ankle against the New York Mets. He has a bone bruise on that ankle and was scratched for Brian Goodwin. He's quickly ahead. 2 balls, no strikes. So it's Goodwin, Turner, and Bryce Harper for the Nationals in the opening inning. Mike's first strike at 97 miles an hour.
It's interesting that both of these pitchers, both of them hard throwers, have modified their delivery out of the so-called windup. Strasburg's more of a modification than Mike's.
That just missed. Full count. Mike walked 2 Nationals in 5 1/3 innings last time he saw him, but he just walked the leadoff man. And he has to go to the stretch immediately with Trey Turner coming up. Turner batting second, playing shortstop. Then you got Harper, Rendon, Zimmerman, who's slumping to start the year. Michael Taylor, Wilmer Defoe, Severino, and Strasburg is the Nationals pitcher-catcher combo tonight. Keep an eye on Goodwin, who measures off his lead, and a strike for Trey Turner.
Another key for Mike tonight might be knocking, I'll call it rust off. He hasn't pitched in a week.
Yeah, with all the off days for Atlanta, as well as Anibal Sanchez getting a start, that pushed everybody back a day, or in Mike's case, even more. So that's an excellent point. And he's ahead of Turner. No balls, 2 strikes. Did he go? No, on the appeal, and Turner took 2 steps toward the National dugout. He thought he was struck out.
Oh, man. Ed Whitson's the umpire at first, and he did go, and Turner knew it. He was leaving. Good grief.
These guys are tough enough to get out with 3 strikes. Now it's 2-2. And Turner fouls it away. Trey's off to a little bit of a slow start, batting .216. He's knocked in a couple of runs. But to Joe's point about the speed in front of Bryce Harper, he's 5 for 5 in stolen bases. Make him hit his way on. Pitch. Fought it off. And so that check swing strikeout that wasn't called means Mike has to throw at least 3 more pitches to Trey Turner. Just back was Goodwin. Good pickoff move.
Quick feet and a good throw over there. Down low.
Swing and a miss. Turner down on strike 4, and there's out number 1. So Mike had to work overtime, but he gets his man. Turner's retired for Bryce Harper.
In that game at SunTrust Park, he struck out 8 and 5 in the 3rd inning. Struck out Harper twice, and he did so up in the zone. You know, at the top of the strike zone, sometimes a little out of it. And that one was up at the top of the zone to Turner.
And those were the first 2 strikeouts for Bryce Harper in 2018. He's only struck out 5 times so far this year. Harper with 16 walks, that leads the National League. He also has 6 homers. As I mentioned in game 1, Bryce Harper has 6 homers. He has 4 singles this year. That's a ratio the Nats would certainly love to see keep up for the rest of the year. Braves walked him 3 times last night. And Goodwin back standing up this time.
Off to a terrific start, just as he was last year.
And Dave Martinez juggled his lineup just a bit, perhaps to give Harper a few more pitches to swing at. He's moved Anthony Rendon to the cleanup spot tonight. He's moved Ryan Zimmerman down to 5th because Zimmerman's off to a 3 for 31 slide at the plate. We'll see if that works tonight. 1-1 count. Line into center field. That almost took Fielding Culbreth with it. A missile by Bryce Harper, and the Nats have 2 on with 1 out.
Top of the zone, but somehow Harper tomahawked that one. I'm sure he watched some video of that game and how Fultonevich pitched him. Jumped on that one. Another single.
So Rendon, the cleanup man, hitting .310. He's got 3 multi-hit games in the last 4. Including a 2 for 4 game last night. Pitch to him is in for a strike.
Mike's throwing hard, that's for sure.
That's up and away, an even count.
Brian O'Nora, the umpire behind the plate tonight, is good ball and strike umpire, but he really can't fool us because after a pitch he always stands up real fast as if he's going to call a strike.
That's back to the screen, and Rendon behind. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Goodwin walked to start the game. Harper sent him to second with a single. And now the 1-2 pitch is popped up. Freddie Freeman in foul ground is there. He'll make the play. And Rendon is retired for the 2nd out. That has been a problem for the Nationals this year. They're hitting .196 as a team with runners in scoring position. And they fail in their first crack at Fultonevich here in the first. And here is Zimmerman. 0 for his last 13 and 3 for his last 31. And that's up and in, ball one. Again, we mentioned last night the very unique spring training that Zimmerman had. Most of his work was on the backfields. He did not play in big league spring training games for the Nationals. But an .097 batting average, not something we're used to seeing from Zimmerman. The pitch. And he went around that time, even count.
And you just hope that you're out of town by the time he gets it all together. He does have a lot of moving parts. He's got the high leg kick. So that all goes to timing and being on time to get your foot down in time to get the bat going.
But when it gets going, this guy is an elite right-handed power hitting first baseman. .36 homers, 108 RBIs, and he batted .303 last year. He's a little late. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mike is going right after these guys. But 24 pitches in the opening inning. What do you do to get Zimmerman here?
Slider. Chasing a lot of bad pitches. And didn't offer.
So Goodwin will get a head start at second base. Bryce Harper from first with 2 outs and a full count. Big leads. There go the runners, and Zimmerman smacks one into center. Ender on the run, can't get it. The ball's behind him and up against the wall. 2-run score. Zimmerman around second. He's on his way to third, and the Nationals take a 2-0 lead.
That was almost, I guess it was like supposed to be a slider, but it was looked like a cutter. It didn't break much, and Ender couldn't block it. This looks like a replay from last night.
2 is enough for Max Scherzer in the first inning, and now Chuck Hernandez on his way out. As the Nats strike with 2 in the first on Zimmerman's extra base hit. A 3-base hit for Ryan Zimmerman. Whose last triple came in the 2016 season. Michael Taylor takes a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. Taylor, another Nat, off to a slow start, batting .176. A lot of strikeouts for him, 12 as a matter of fact, and Fulte's got him set up for number 13 here. And Perez can't hang on. It's still 0-2.
Just made that one mistake, lifted up and out over the plate to Zimmerman.
Little tapper hit toward third, and the toss across is going to be in time. And that retires the side. Long inning for Mike Foltynewicz, 30 pitches. A leadoff walk got it started, and then Ryan Zimmerman, who's been waiting a long time, got some divine intervention and a 2-run triple to put the Nats in front. Strasburg will face Tucker, Swanson, and Flaherty for the Braves here in inning number 2. MLB at bat, your number 1 Braves app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Braves home screen icons and features like the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at bat today. So it is deja vu all over again, as Yogi Berra would have said for the Braves. Julio Teheran threw 29 first-inning pitches and allowed a couple of runs. Mike Foltynewicz threw 30 first-inning pitches. As Tucker shoots one toward left and playable. Goodwin's got it, 1 out.
That's really a tough break for Tucker because he hit it so well against the ship, but Goodwin was right there.
Originally in the lineup, I don't know if he would have gotten to that ball with his ankle and knee problems. But Goodwin, right place, right time for out number 1, and that brings up Dansby Swanson. Dansby 5th in the league in hitting at .351 this year. And a good road trip brewing. He's got 6 hits and a home run in Denver and Washington. Swanson's 2 for 7 in his head-to-head meetings with Steven Strasburg. And up and away, evens the count. Hardy souls still making their way through the entry gate down Half Street here in Washington on a brisk, chilly night. Those that are arriving now saw Washington or missed Washington scoring 2 first-inning runs. Dansby almost got plunked. At 19,000 fans plus here tonight or last night. Very cold, misty, just miserable night to try to hit Max Scherzer.
And Julio Teheran, for that matter, after the 2-run first, there wasn't much going on for the Nats either.
That smacked into left center field. It'll get down in front of Goodwin. And Dansby Swanson got a 3-1 pitch. He didn't miss it, and he's aboard with the second Atlanta hit. You see his confidence continuing to grow at the plate.
Fastball right down the middle. Can't miss that one. He didn't.
Flaherty is the third leading hitter in National League play at .375. And he's pushed off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. All the way to the backstop. So that'll help. Dansby will trot to second base.
All help is appreciated with this guy. 10-9 lifetime against the Braves. He's had more than his share of trouble, especially at Turner Field, where it seemed like it was never 75 and sunny enough for him.
He's been a different guy lately. He struck out 10 or more Braves in 3 of his last 4 starts. He has yet to strike out a Brave tonight. In fact, low strikeout totals have been a hallmark for this club since Kevin Seitzer took over as the hitting coach. Since 2015, the Braves have the 5th lowest strikeout total as an offense in the major leagues. Impressive work. Pitch. Little tapper back to the mound. Strasburg will make the peg to first, if you want to call it that. 2 outs. And Carlos Perez will get a chance to hit. Perez 1 for 7. The Braves, that hit a 3rd inning single in Colorado. To second, and Defoe goes to an E to make the play, and that retires the side. No runs, a hit, a man left. 2-0 Washington. Strasburg's due up 3rd.
Ball, pretty average grip just to throw a ball. 2-seam, kind of run it along the seams there. So if you want to move your thumb, higher you go, the more movement it'll do. Curveball, for me along the horseshoe there. I really choked this one with the slider. I go on the other side of the horseshoe now.
So now you know the pitch grip arsenal of Mike Fulton-Evans, who will hope for an easy inning in the second.
It was one of those grips on the slider that let him down last inning on that 3-2 pitch to Zimmerman.
He has the 7, 8, 9 hitters for Dave Martinez and the Nationals here in the second. Defoe, Severino, and Steven Strasburg. Bell tie strike for Defoe, who's hitting 200.
They've got several guys in their lineup that are not tearing it up like they normally do. Defoe's not an everyday guy, but hitting just 200. Taylor 176. Zimmerman sub 100. Trey Turner hitting 216 coming in. They're a little slow coming out of the blocks offensively. Good thing they've got a right fielder on their team that can hit. And Rendon, their third baseman.
And Gio and Strasburg and Scherzer and the excellent bullpen. Anchored by Sean Doolittle, their closer. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Defoe. Bases empty. And this one's lifted to the left side. Tucker's coming in near the line. And he'll make the catch for out number 1. The other scary thing about the Nationals is they're not healthy. They don't have Daniel Murphy. They don't have Matt Wieters. But Severino has stepped in and done excellent work on the offensive side. 6 hits, 3 RBIs, and he's gotten on base a lot. 12 of his 21 plate appearances have seen him reach. They like him a lot. He's got a strong arm. Maybe their #1 guy in the future here.
Yeah, they've talked about him that way for a couple of years, and they sent him back to AAA this year just so he could play every day. Forced into action because of the injury to Wieters, and you know, depending on how well he shows here over the next couple of weeks or whenever Wieters comes back, you know, that may kind of push a spot open for him.
The other catcher on their roster is Miguel Montero, Diamondback, Cub, and Blue Jay. Right now, Severino's the guy until Wieters comes back from his oblique and went to the disabled list right before the Nationals got to Atlanta. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Let's see if that sets up the outside corner. Mike is in rapid fire mode. Working very quickly. .40 pitches, 25 strikes. The Nationals have done this quite a bit to him already tonight. They've got the 2 strikes and they're fouling stuff off.
Well, you might remember in his start against Washington at SunTrust Park, we commented on how quickly he was working. He pitched around a hit and a walk in the first inning, gave up a run in the second inning after a hit batsman, a wild pitch, and then a base hit by Scherzer, you might remember. After that, he seemed to kind of take a breath and not rush himself.
New bat for Severino, who's fouled off 3 in a row. And this one's pulled toward third. Flaherty drops it, but the catcher running. He's still got time. 2 outs.
Before it gets too dark, I wanted to show everybody the dinosaurs outside the ballpark, the left field. Between here and the Capitol building, count 8 construction cranes, and most of them within about a 3-block area here of the ballpark. This place is exploding.
The Navy Yards area of Washington, D.C. When they first built this ballpark, none of that was there. This was, shall we say, a rundown section of town that has bloomed like the cherry blossoms once Nats Park got established and all the condos and restaurants and hotels right here along the banks of the Anacostia River. strike to Strasburg. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Try to make short work of him and get to the dugout.
Strasburg will see a 5th pitch. Lined into center.
Wow.
First hit of the year for Strasburg.
Shows what happened if you put your bat out there. And I don't blame Mike for throwing the fastball right down the middle. This guy can't hit, theoretically. Big smile on his face, and he never smiles. Freddie's really giving it to him.
So overtime for Fultonevich here in the 2nd inning. Goodwin walked to start the game and scored on Zimmerman's 2-strike triple.
This guy's really making himself into a pretty good ball player. Dusty Baker talked about him quite a bit last year, how much he had improved.
Fly ball foul, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Goodwin played in a career high 74 games last year, hit 13 homers. Out of Rocky Mount, North Carolina, and just took inside 2-2. Rans out of the University of North Carolina. 34th overall pick in 2011. And Mike's having to throw a lot of pitches with 2 strikes tonight. There goes Strasburg, and a ground ball hit towards second. Ozzy's got it, and that's the inning. No runs, a hit, a man left. That man is Steven Strasburg. Mike Fultonevich will face him, leading off the Braves' 3rd.
Already played their game today, and a couple good things happened from it. They picked up a W, and there were a lot of exciting, notable stats over there today. Starting out with Ronald Acuna, who has been down there, and he got his first hit of the season. He went 2 for 4. That first hit that he picked up was a double. Rio Ruiz went 2 for 3 with a home run and 2 RBI. And Johan Camargo, who is currently with Gwinnett on a rehab assignment, he hit a home run as well. And Chip and Joey, they were actually down 4-0, rallied all the way back to win it 5-4. And Colby Allard also made his AAA debut for Gwinnett as well.
Sounds like a good day for the Stripers.
I like the logo too, by the way. That's the first time I've seen it. Although, if I were a fish and you're holding a baseball, which fish can't do because they have fins, but hypothetically speaking, did you notice what was on the end of that ball? It was a hook near the fish's mouth. I don't know if that's a good idea or not.
It was a lure. It's a baseball lure.
Right, with a hook on it, which is, fish don't like that.
No, but they like baseball. That's why they went after the lure, and they got caught. No, it's a good day for those guys. And Camargo had just joined Gwinnett after starting his rehab in A ball, so good sign there.
Well, let's see if Strasburg gives Fultonevich a fastball down the middle. He did, but it was knee high. Strike one. Mike 1 for 3, 2 RBIs. Those came against Max Scherzer. I found out that Mike is swinging R.A. Dickey's old bat.
Is that right?
It's a heavy model. Or at least he was the last time he faced Washington. And strike three caught the corner. And Fultonevich with a quick word with Brian Onora. There's the first strikeout for Mr. Strasburg. And back to the top we go. Ender Inciarte, who is 0 for 5 in the series. Ender's looking forward to some 80-degree weather. Hopefully that'll get his bat heated up. Ground ball right side. Defoe from the outfield grass makes the play. 2 outs.
We could all use a little 80-degree weather.
Yeah. We're going to have to wait a while after this series in Washington. We'll head to Chicago for 3 games with the Cubs starting Friday afternoon. And the Cubs were beaten today by the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are off to a very surprising and successful start. And the Cubs got some bad news. Anthony Rizzo placed on the 10-day disabled list thanks to a bad back. So the Braves will miss Rizzo in Chicago. Ozzie Albies doubled off the wall in right. And then tried to steal third with Strasburg in that modified stretch position, and he was thrown out. Call confirmed thanks to replay. Freeman walked, Markakis lined out, and that was the Atlanta first inning.
Again, in that situation, if you're going to steal third, you better make sure you can make it. He guessed wrong. My assumption was that after a pitch to Freddie or 2 pitches to Freddie, Strasburg didn't look at him, so maybe he thought that he could go if Strasburg wasn't going to mix up his looks.
2 balls and a strike. Albies with 4 doubles now on the year, 6 for 16 at the plate on the road trip. Two and 2.
Kind of ran away from Ozzie.
Strike 3 called. Strasburg has a 1-2-3 third inning. 2 strikeouts for the Nationals right-hander and a 2-0 lead. Struck out back in the opening inning. Fly ball headed for the gap in left center. Inciarte and Tucker. It'll be Preston reaching up with the right hand, and Turner flies out.
Last pitch to Ozzie may have been a borderline strike, but I mentioned this last night about Severino, the catcher. Watch him stand all the way up when he gets into his position to set up outside. That's something that over time may really cost his pitchers, because for a left-handed hitter, I don't know how you can't see all that movement for him to stand up and then go into his squat on the outside corner and give away location.
Strasburg lived to tell the tale with the strikeout. And now Bryce Harper hits. A solid single for Harper up the middle. His first time up, and he scored on the Zimmerman triple.
Quick inning would be nice for Mike here.
Way outside, ball 2. Bryce Harper, a different looking swing at the plate than we've seen in years past, something you broke down when the Nationals were in Atlanta. But still, Joe, amazing how much bat speed he can generate.
He's so strong. He's just not implementing a big leg kick. He's kind of turning that right heel out, keeping his foot on the ground and staying back. There was some leg kick. He wasn't doing that in Atlanta. In Atlanta, his right foot really never left the ground.
Two-two pitch. It's line to left, and Tucker to a knee. Handles that sinking line drive. 2 outs. See if Mike can get his first perfect inning under his belt. Rendon popped out with 2 aboard in the first inning. Now we talk all the time about players and say, well, if they played in LA or Chicago or New York, how much more press they would get. I wonder if in the case of Anthony Rendon, if he played somewhere other than Washington, he would get more attention than perhaps he gets on a team with Strasburg and Scherzer and Harper.
Most assuredly he would.
Terrific hitter. Underrated defender. I think he had 7 errors last year for the Nationals at third base.
Now he'd have a couple of Gold Gloves if it weren't for Arenado.
There's won 5 in a row with the Rockies. It'll pop up over the Nationals dugout foul. It's quickly 0-2.
Bit of a quick pitch there from Mike. Trying to shorten his delivery and catch Rendon by surprise.
One-two pitch. Sharply hit, and Flaherty can't glove it. It's down the left field line. That's going to bounce off the stands. And Rendon is aboard with a 2-out double.
This guy seems to do most of his damage with 2 strikes, and it's because he doesn't employ any stride with 2 strikes. Just put that foot down as quickly as he could and off the glove of Flaherty. But hard hit.
And here's the villain, Ryan Zimmerman, who tripled to center field and scored 2 Nationals runs in the first inning. That snapped an 0 for 13. Our hope was he wouldn't heat up until after we left town.
What was wrong with that pitch? 95 at the knees and split the plate.
Back up the middle. Behind the bag, Ozzie, and he fires to first in time to retire the side. No runs, a hit, a man left. Freeman, Markakis, and Tucker will try to get something going. It's 2-0. Washington after 3. Nothing Washington after 3 innings. Time for the Braves bats to wake up. It's Freeman, Markakis, and Preston Tucker. And Freddie Freeman, our Yellowwood brand, bringing the lumber feature.
Good numbers here in this ballpark. Runs and RBIs in 61 games. That's kind of Chipper-like.
Smoke down the right field line, and that'll one-hop into and out of the stands. No balls and a strike. Speaking of Chipper, he had himself quite a day today in Cooperstown. Members of the Hall of Fame class get a special day to go tour the facility. And Chipper Jones got to autograph the spot where his plaque will be mounted in the Hall of Fame. Got to check out some of the memorabilia in Cooperstown today. Some awesome stuff online showing Chipper Jones holding a bat that Babe Ruth used. And then of course he couldn't resist grabbing the bat of David Justice, who hit that big home run in that very special 1995 season for Atlanta. 0-2 count. And inside.
Chipper credits David a lot for some of his growth as a fledgling major leaguer, showing him the ropes.
Base is empty for Freddie. The pitch is caught on and missed. Something off speed fooled him. And Strasburg has his 3rd strikeout. They've all come since the start of the 3rd inning. 1 man down.
Well, you can understand why he would try something different. He yanked a 96-mile-an-hour fastball foul into the seats. Sliced one to the other side, was on that, so he went to an 88-mile-an-hour two-seamer, maybe a changeup, and that worked.
Nick Markakis hit the ball hard, but lined out to Michael Taylor to end the Braves first, so he's 0 for 1. And of course, our great Fox Sports crew will be headed to Cooperstown for all the pomp and circumstance of Chipper Jones Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. It's coming up later this summer.
Is Captain Caney heading up that?
Pretty good chance. The 1-0 pitch. And a bounding ball toward first. Zimmerman flips to Strasburg. We got to the bag without incident. 2 outs.
Last night the Braves were not able to advance a runner to second base against Scherzer. Tonight they had a guy at second with 1 out in the first inning, and he got thrown out trying to steal third. And they got Swanson to second tonight in the second inning on a single and a wild pitch. But we can't seem to get things put together. Can't put a couple of hits together.
Scherzer and Strasburg will do that. I recall the Braves entered this series with the highest runs scored total and highest batting average in baseball. Scherzer shut him down last night with a 2-hit, 10-strikeout, no-walk shutout. Tonight Strasburg has blanked the Braves and has given up just 2 hits himself. He set down 7 straight. And Tucker pops it back out of play. This is what makes Strasburg so tough. Like Scherzer last night, it's been strike 1, strike 2 to virtually every Atlanta hitter.
Tucker had a good swing at him last time up. Line shot to left.
Base is empty, 2 outs, and an 0-2 pitch from Steven Strasburg.
All this offense the Braves have mustered here in the early going. If they don't score this inning, this will be 15 straight innings without a run, dating back to Coors Field.
And to make matters tougher for Atlanta, the wind appears to be shifting, blowing straight in now. And the 1-2 pitch, cut on and missed. Tucker is down on strikes. Strasburg set down 8 straight, and he has 4 punch-outs and a 2-0 lead. I certainly didn't, Jerome. How about you?
I didn't. I didn't have them on my radar. Happy for them, though.
Pittsburgh a perfect 4-0 on the road, 4-2 at PNC Park. And a 2.5 game lead, make that a 3-game lead, I should say, over the Cubs in the National League Central.
They made a nice pickup kind of under the radar. They got Dickerson from Tampa Bay when the Rays let that guy go, put him on waivers. He's a solid player, good outfielder.
So the Bucks, a surprising team in the National League. As Taylor pops one up, foul ground at first. Freddie takes a peek at the railing and makes the grab. And there's out number one. Taylor's 0 for 2. Good start for Fultonevich. As Jerome mentioned, the Cubs, the last team in the major leagues with a home game. They were snowed out yesterday, and the Pirates froze them out today. The Braves are headed there next. Will play there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon at Wrigley Field. Anibal Sanchez and Yu Darvish will square off on Friday afternoon.
Sounds funny to think about Yu Darvish pitching for the Cubs, doesn't it?
We'll see Darvish, Quintana, and Chatwood. Pretty interesting. Quintana, the only holdover from the Cubs last year, and he was a midseason acquisition by them. To short. Right at Dansby, who boots it. So Defoe's aboard thanks to an error at shortstop by Dansby. That's the 7th error committed by Atlanta this year.
Yeah, that has not been an issue. The defense has been so good. And just the first committed by Dansby.
Hopefully Mike can pitch around that. Let's see if Severino can hit another ground ball and a double play. Severino bounced out to third his first time up. Ball 1. Reds and Phillies, no score, 4th inning at Citizens Bank. Mets over the Marlins, 1-0 in the 4th. Milwaukee plays the Cardinals in just a couple of moments in St. Louis. The rest of the National League action is in Denver and the West Coast. Ground ball with a runner going. There'll be only one play, and it's made to first. And so sending Defoe takes away a chance for the double play. Severino rolls out. And the sidebar to that is that Washington will clear Steven Strasburg. He'll bat with 2 outs in the 4th inning.
And had a good swing. Had a fastball in the 2nd inning with a line shot single.
More off-speed stuff from Mike here in the 4th inning.
How about that? Nice curveball.
Oh, and 2.
Just looking at that list of errors that the Braves have committed this year, the guy who's made the most, oddly, is Kirk Suzuki on a couple of throws.
One-two pitch.
Giving him a lot of respect, isn't he, after the base hit?
A lot of pitches for Fultonevich tonight. And now he's gone 3-2 to Strasburg.
A lot of breaking balls.
Strasburg lives to swing the bat again. .53 strikes. Mike has 1 strikeout. That was in the first inning from Trey Turner. The Nationals have really fought hard when they've gotten to 2 strikeouts. And then Mike overthrows a fastball and walks Strasburg. So the inning ought to be over. Mike had to throw 6 or 7 pitches to the opposing pitcher and then promptly walks him. And now top of the order in Goodwin with 2 on and 2 out. That base on balls has the Braves bullpen scrambling around in left field. Goodwin's walk scored and grounded out.
Shame of that was that he was ahead 0-2.
Got the call there for strike 1. One ball, 2 strikes. It's Luke Jackson up and throwing first.
For the most part, and it's hard to use Strasburg as an example, but they're not swinging at too many breaking balls. They're just sitting waiting on fastball and trying to tee off.
Fly ball shallow center. Ender coming on. Dives, can't get it. Defoe scores. Goodwin with a bloop single. And the Nationals extend their lead to 3-0. And the walk to the pitcher proves very problematic.
It's an unearned run because Defoe reached on the error. But the only reason this occurred was, you're right, because he was not able to retire Strasburg.
So it's 3-0. The Nationals. Trey Turner swings the first one, drives it deep toward left. Tucker back to the edge of the track is there, and that retires the side. An error and a walk to the pitcher leads to Brian Goodwin's RBI hit. Nationals extend their lead. It's the stretch presented by Advance Auto Parts. Chip and Joe with Kelsey Wingert with you from Washington. Last night it was Max Scherzer. Tonight it's Steven Strasburg getting it done on the mound, and in Strasburg's case at the plate too. It's a 3-0 Washington game as Atlanta's coming up for its 5th turn in Game 2 of the series.
He's like Scherzer. He's like any of the other aces you want to talk about around the National League. You give them a little bit of a lead and they get better and better.
Strasburg has set down 8 consecutive Braves. He's got 4 strikeouts. Dansby Swanson has one of the 2 Atlanta hits. That was a 1-out single in the second. Right there, a strike. Strasburg, a 15-game winner last year. Struck out over 200 men in 175 innings. And then really dominated for the Nationals in postseason play. And that October brilliance, Joe, was fueled by an amazing second half on the mound for the Nationals right-hander.
Yeah, we showed that sub-1 ERA. That's pretty good. Sub-200 average against him.
And he went 6-1 with an 0.86 ERA. 0.86, folks.
Take a look at this. Since July 14th, to back that up, since last year, the best ERA in baseball, either league. And that's by a pretty good margin over Kluber.
Oh, 2 count. Did he go? He did not. Strasburg thought Swanson went too far. And you're seeing the difference between Strasburg and Foltynewicz in their first 4 innings. Look at the pitch count for Steven Strasburg. He has yet to make his 50th. Generally speaking, his ability to get the at-bat resolved quickly after 2 strikes is more advanced than it is for Mike Foltynewicz.
Correct. He's been pitching a little longer. 29 years old.
Swing and a miss. That ball darting down and in for Swanson. He couldn't catch up, and that's 9 up, 9 down for Strasburg with his 5th strikeout.
Well, check this out. Max Scherzer last year won the Cy Young Award, and he went 16-6 with a 251. 16-6, 251. Strasburg was 15-4 with a 252. 1/100th of an ERA point higher and 1 win fewer, but also fewer losses. 15-4, 252. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, but a pretty nice combo, huh? To go 31-10.
Uh-huh.
Not to mention the no decisions where they kept their team in the game, and one can only wonder how much better those records might have been in the first half of the year had the Nationals not had all those well-documented bullpen problems. They have no such issues in 2018. So Strasburg quickly, 2 strikes. Tapper out of play. Flaherty's still alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's got to be a happy homecoming of sorts for Ryan, who knows the Beltway area very well. He was with the Baltimore Orioles for a number of seasons. For the Phillies scooped him up before spring training and then let him go, much to the gratitude of the Braves. to play with his brother-in-law, Nick Markakis, in Atlanta colors. He too, a former Oriole. Upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes for Ryan Flaherty. Now it's Strasburg's turn for a deep count.
Looked like Severino was ready to throw that one to third base.
He can now. Strasburg has struck out 3 in a row. And 5 of his last 6 outs have been by strikeout.
One of the comments after his start last night from Max Scherzer was that he knew the Braves like to swing early in the count. They don't like to get deep in the count and be on the defensive, and that worked to his advantage because he was able to throw a lot of first pitch early strikes and get ahead in the count. And like Scherzer, Strasburg right there went upstairs, top of the zone, and got an out.
.95-96 at the top of the zone. Tough to catch up to. Carlos took it and is behind 0-1. Broken bat. Defoe surrounds, throws off balance, and makes the peg to first. And that retires the Braves in order again. 11 up, 11 down for Strasburg, who now leads 3-0.
And you heard Chip and Joe just talking about Ryan Flaherty and Nick Markakis, the brother-in-laws who have been reunited. Not their first stint as teammates. They played together in Baltimore as well, but we did notice here that they were riding to and from the ballpark a lot together. I asked Ryan if they lived together. He said, actually, yeah, I had been living with Nick for quite a while. He said, I did just finally get my own place because I think there is such thing as too much time together, guys. And during baseball season, they're together an awful lot. So now they do have separate living spaces.
It's funny, Kelsey. Joe says the same thing up in the booth.
You know, that's kind of baseball wide.
Line drive to first.
What a play.
Freeman handles a hot smash off the bat of Bryce Harper. Wow, what a play. That'll wake you up. 1 down.
I don't know anybody better. I think Paul Goldschmidt won the Gold Glove last year at first base. But he's not any better than that guy.
Yeah, Bryce Harper up there, first base becomes the hot corner, and Freddie handled that terrifically for the first out. Rendon 1 for 2. You were saying that's universal baseball-wise?
Yeah. Too much time together kind of thing. Yeah. Kind of across the board. You talk to anybody in the truck, talk about unfriendly confines there.
Whew. That's why we got to go to Wrigley early in the year, so we can even out the friendly, unfriendly confines thing. Mike Miller
trying to find their own space.
Right. Directing tonight. Brian Woodrum's our producer. Gretchen Caney's our AD. Drew Jenkins, our fine stat man. Great crew here in Washington on another cold spring night. 52 degrees at first pitch. It's a lot colder than that now. At the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour Eastern time, 3-0 Nationals. The Braves have been 2-hit. And Atlanta's manager Brian Snitker would love Fultonevich to get through this inning without incident. His spot's due up first when the Braves bat in the 6th. And a swing and a miss takes care of Rendon. So Mike Fultonevich now with 2 strikeouts and 2 quick outs in the 5th inning.
Short cutter. It looks more like a cutter than a slider. That one up and in to Rendon. Again, usually with 2 strikes, that seems to be at his best. Couldn't connect there.
Well, Mike at 100 pitches now, still throwing in the mid-90s. Again, despite all of his 2-strike trouble tonight, he's only walked 2 guys. One of them scored. That was Goodwin. The heartbreaking part of walk number 2 was to Steven Strasburg. That brought Goodwin to the plate, and he promptly singled home Wilmer Defoe, who reached on an error. And for Fultonevich so far in his first 3 starts, Joe, I think it's safe to say he's had excellent control.
I think he's been very good there. I think he gets a little out of whack on his mechanics once in a while, like he did 2 pitches ago. Tried to overthrow that fastball and missed badly with it. Looked like he was having a little talk with himself to kind of calm down. He knows this is his last inning. There you go. Sometimes when he's trying to throw that slider as hard as he throws his fastball, everything goes sideways. I mean, not in a good direction.
2-2 for Zimmerman. And he chased that ball in the dirt, and Fultonevich has a 1-2-3 inning, his final inning of the night, and he gets a couple of strikeouts.
Dealers, let's go places. And by SunTrust, confidence starts here.
Beautiful time of year in this part of the world. That's the Lincoln Memorial. course, the cherry blossoms are in bloom along the tidal basin. And spring baseball on a chilly night. Mike Foltynewicz through 5 innings of 3-run, 2 earned run ball, getting some valuable time with Chuck Hernandez, the Braves pitching coach. After 104 pitches, he'll give way to Lane Adams, who will pinch hit to start the 6th inning against Steven Strasburg. So your scouting report on Mike Foltynewicz tonight, Joe, with 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks.
He was victimized tonight. Looked like he might get out of the 1st inning, and then a guy who was 3 for his last 31 got a bit of a hanging slider right over the plate. That was Zimmerman.
Turner at short. Adams can fly, but can't outrun that throw across the diamond. 1 out.
And he was going to give up 1 on the base hit, but Ender was trying to make a diving catch basically, and then realized he couldn't get to the ball, so it bounced by him. So 2 runs scored on the triple by Zimmerman. So that, I say, was victimized. It was his own kind of a mistake he made on a 3-2 count. But then in the 4th inning, an unearned run, and part of that was because he walked the pitcher after being ahead of him 0-2.
Ender's 0 for 2, 0 for 6 in the series.
So he didn't pitch poorly, but you go back and look at it. A leadoff walk led to the start of the 1st inning. The mistake to Zimmerman, and then the walk to Strasburg, which ultimately led to a base hit by the leadoff man with 2 out.
Yeah, in a game where your team hasn't scored, you throw 104 pitches, 3 mistakes like that will cost you. And to this point, they've cost you dearly. But hopefully Strasburg will start to wilt a bit. He hasn't yet. He's set down 12 straight with 6 strikeouts. He's issued just 1 walk. And he's done that damage very efficiently. Just 64 pitches. That's in the air toward the gap in right center. That'll get down. So Ender with a wide turnaround first will have the first Atlanta hit since the 2nd inning. It snaps Strasburg's 12 in a row string of retired batters. Let's see if that gets something going for Atlanta. 1 on, 1 out. The Albies coming up.
And a good sign for Ender too. Stayed back on that fastball, shortened everything up. Need to put some hits together.
Single hits for Atlanta in the 1st inning. That was an Albies double. A Swanson single in the 2nd. Now Ender with 1 out in the 6th. And Ozzie takes up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. That caught a corner, even count.
He's done a nice job tonight, Strasburg, of mixing in that slider and another off-speed pitch that's been more like a change-up. And he's been successful at the top of the zone.
Murphy looking on. He's been doing some running, some agility drills, but not cleared yet as he comes back from knee surgery. Pitch fouled away. And the count 2-2. Strasburg still throwing hard with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
He's a big, strong dude. 6'5", 235.
He's ready with his 2-2 pitch. And it's high. All right, you're down 3-0. You've got Freddie Freeman on deck. You've got speed at first. You've got speed in the box.
I'm going to play for a big inning here. I'm not thinking about a single run. I'm not sending Ender. He was running earlier in the count, though.
Another half step on that lead. He is going. And the pitch is skied towards center. Playable for Taylor. He retreats. Ender will retreat as well. 2 outs. So Ozzie 1 for 3. Freddie Freeman, the batter. He's walked in the first. He struck out in the fourth. That strikeout was something off speed. I'm not sure if it was a curveball or a changeup, but Freddie really off stride and swung awkwardly and missed.
Yeah, he made a beautiful pitch with it. Down and away.
Foul.
He keeps turning on his best fastball. And again, really good numbers against Strasburg, coming in a .375 average in 40 at bats. 4 of his 15 hits are homers.
Well, we'll take another one right here. That would make it a 1-run game if Freddie could connect. For a strike. It's 0-2. Strasburg has a few pitches to play with here if he wants. Let's see what he and Severino decide on. There's that breaking ball again, but it missed badly. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, it went from one side of the plate to the other in terms of their target. Wanted to backdoor it. And were I Strasburg, I would be trying to negate some of Freddie's power by pitching him away.
Runner goes. Strike 3 on a breaking ball. Freeman was frozen on a cold night. Strasburg has his 7th strikeout. Ender is left stranded at first. We're through 5.5. Another Washington shutout brewing. Stretch presented by Advance Auto Parts. So far it's been all Steven Strasburg and the Nationals in Game 2. They enjoy a 3-0 lead. The night has come to an end for Mike Foltynewicz. There's Freddie Freeman and the Braves. Yeah, but 3 hits tonight. Mike went 5 innings, a 5-hit, 3-run ball. And he'll give way now to Shane Carl, who's on to pitch the home half of the 6th inning.
Saw Freddie blinking quite a bit at the plate on that last at bat. Now see him doing that at home plate. I don't know if the wind is getting to him a little bit.
Little tapper hit toward third. Flaherty's got it, and he'll fire to first in time. 1 pitch, 1 out. Takes care of Michael Taylor, who's 0 for 3. Shane's been a nice find for the Atlanta Braves out of the bullpen. He's done excellent work. In his first 4 big league appearances this year, he's earned his first win, his first loss, and his first hold out of the bullpen.
Pretty good.
His first career win came against these Nationals on April the 3rd. He went 3 1/3 scoreless. Stranded the bases loaded after he entered the game in inning number 3.
Yeah, his long relief work has been outstanding. Just 1 run allowed in 7 2/3, a walk, and 5 strikeouts.
Braves bullpen so far has been excellent. Been a few blips as far as the bases on balls are concerned, but boy, in April, 27 2/3 innings of work, 3 earned runs. Line just out of reach, Ozzie. And Wilmer Defoe is aboard for the 2nd straight time, this time with his first hit.
Nice swing on a sinker. Defoe probably would be an everyday player in a lot of places. Has to bide his time behind Howie Kendrick and Daniel Murphy.
One on, one out, 3-0 Nationals, home 6th. Bell-tie strike and a beauty for Pedro Severino, strike 1. Runner goes. Pitch is bounced foul past first.
Pretty good jump for Defoe there too.
Again, Defoe goes, and this one shot towards shallow center field, and the Nationals will have men at first and third. Severino continues his outstanding work at the plate, and Carl in very quick trouble with 1 out, and Strasburg coming up.
Well, especially if they were putting a hit and run on here, for him to come through and fight that one off up and in. Really nice job by the Nationals catcher.
Strasburg's been on base twice. He's singled and he's walked. He showed bunt and took outside. Strasburg is a lifetime 152 hitter. Drew tells me he's got 7 multi-hit games as a hitting pitcher.
That's pretty good.
Including a couple of 3-hit games. He lays down a bunt, and Carl throws it down the right field line. That's going to score 1 run. Severino's going to stop at third, and Strasburg is at second base. That really hurts.
Shane did everything right. He checked the runner at third and then launched that missile over the head of Albies.
So it's a sacrifice and an error. This has not been the best defensive game for the Braves this year. And Washington extends their lead to 4-0 as Strasburg gets to stand out at second base. Infield comes in now for Goodwin, who's walked, scored, and singled home a run. And ball 1 missed inside. Hey, the Marlins just took the lead over the Mets tonight. It's 4-3 Miami. That game in the bottom of the 5th inning at Marlins Park.
I know the Marlins aren't winning a lot of ball games, but they are playing a lot of tough, close games, scoring some runs.
They split their opening series with the Cubs, winning 2, losing 2. Lost a close one last night to New York, but leading tonight down in Miami.
I think that was Jacob deGrom starting
against Caleb Smith. Mets are 8-1, matching their best record in franchise history to start a year. Scary thing in Miami, they had 7,000 fans officially. 7,003 last night with the Mets in town. 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, they got a mess down there. Miami City, County, all suing the Marlins and Jeffrey Loria, wanting a share of the profits from the sale of the team. And everybody's saying, who, me?
So much so that the current ownership group of the Marlins has tried to establish corporate residency in the British Virgin Islands to try to stay out of that mess between Miami, Miami-Dade County, and Jeffrey Loria. 3 balls and a strike. And out of play. It's full to Brian Goodwin. But they're doing what they had to do. The path they were on was apparently unsustainable. So they've got to start from ground zero yet again as far as their on-field product is concerned. And it figures to be a long year in South Florida for the baseball fans there. Marlins off to a 3-7 start. Pitch. Right there, a strike, and Goodwin frozen. Carl comes back and makes a big pitch for the second out. And now Trey Turner's up. Turner's 0 for 3.
That was a great 3-2 pitch, curveball. Of course, he's thinking that if he hadn't thrown that ball away, the inning would be over.
Well, take care of Turner and all's forgiven. Turner struck out and flied out to left twice.
One thing that went unnoticed on that overthrow was that Nick Markakis was there backing up the play and kept a second run from scoring on the overthrow.
That's slow ball too.
I was always taught that there may be times where you know it's going to be a simple play and you don't feel like you need to go over and back up a play, but the one time you don't, you'll be sorry.
Out of play by Turner now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Turner said he wants to be known as a run producer for the Nationals. He's certainly done that in his brief career against the Braves. 53 lifetime hits against Atlanta, including 9 homers. He batted leadoff last night. He's hitting second tonight. We saw him hit down in the lineup in Atlanta. I think he batted 6th one day.
Right. That's correct.
So Dave Martinez finding out some things perhaps on the fly with guys like Trey Turner, where he can hit, where the matchups are favorable for him. Much of that predicated on Adam Eaton's availability. He's a terrific leadoff guy too. Pitch. Swing and a miss, and Carl pitches out of a mess of his own making, but still the Nationals pick up another insurance run. After 6, it's 4-0. Steven Strasburg is beginning his 8th major league season with the Washington Nationals as far as service time is concerned, and he has certainly figured some things out over the last couple of years, and tonight no different. Strasburg is through 6 innings, Joe, with 7 strikeouts, no runs, and impeccable control, and look how efficient.
Yeah, the 7 strikeouts matches his season high, which he established in his first start. But like Scherzer, good command. He's walked 1. Scherzer didn't walk anybody and struck out 10. This has been a heck of a 1-2 punch the Braves are absorbing here from these 2 guys.
You were here for the great Braves glory run of 14 straight division titles, and certainly, well, we know Maddox, Smoltz, and Glavine, they were competing against other teams that they faced. They also had a healthy competition amongst each other in rotation, did they not?
Oh, sure.
And I'm sure that Strasburg and Scherzer enjoy the same kind of friendly rivalry.
I don't know if they do or not. I haven't heard about any such thing, but I would guess they would. They would have a friendly competition. More so their whole staff. You know, they should have a goal in mind, and that's to win it all this year. They feel like they've got the people in place to do that, and they ought to have a single mindset that way.
They've had some terrific teams here, but for myriad reasons, they just have not been able to get out of the first round of the playoffs. And last season, they had the Cubs on the ropes, but could not hang on. Chicago beat them in heartbreaking fashion before losing to the Dodgers in the National League Championship Series. But I'm with you. They have a terrific rotation. They have an outstanding offense, good bench. The back of their bullpen is stable and very good and effective. Now they've just got to go do it. To short. Turner charges and turns it loose for out number 1.
I guess if there's a question mark, it's their manager. You know, they've got a rookie manager who's never managed in the big leagues. And I'm not sure if Dave managed in the minor leagues anywhere before becoming a coach with Tampa Bay and Joe Madden. And I'm not trying to demean his ability or be disrespectful to him. He's just an unknown quantity right now.
10 years a bench coach in Tampa Bay and Chicago. As Tucker rounds out to shallow right field where Defoe is playing in the shift.
Do you know this team is a veteran team in most regards, and I guess in a way of thinking, Dave Martinez just needs to stay out of the way. They need to stay healthy, and he needs to stay out of the way and just make out the lineups, get those guys out there and let them do what they do.
Dansby Swanson hits, 2 outs. A second inning single for Swanson, and that's downstairs 1-0. Dave Martinez played 16 major league seasons, starting with the Cubs, Montreal, the Reds, Giants, White Sox, Tampa Bay, Texas. And I'd forgotten he finished his big league career with the Braves.
Had some time with Atlanta.
In 2001, he played 120 games that year.
What year was that?
2001. Dansby skies one towards center. Taylor to his left makes the play, and the Braves are out of luck in the 7th. Strasburg gets him 1-2-3 again in game 2. 4-0 is our score in Washington, D.C. Time now for the stretch, presented by Advance Auto Parts. Let's send it to our pal Jerome Jurenovich, standing by in our Atlanta studios. Sox beginning their annual duel for American League East supremacy. Yankees 3.5 games back. Boston 8-1, riding an 8-game winning streak. They'll be without Xander Bogaerts. He turned an ankle. He's on the disabled list. That's a costly loss for the Red Sox, as Jose Ramirez gets set to pitch the 7th for the Braves, his 4th appearance.
Yeah, and his last one was a good one at Colorado, an inning and a third with a hit and no walks. Didn't strike out anybody, but zeros across after only the 1 hit.
Harper, Rendon, and Zimmerman for Washington. Boy, when we play these guys, it seems like they're up every inning. Big swing and a miss by Harper, didn't get it. Bryce 1 for 3 tonight. And scored a first inning run. Fultonevich, Carl, and Ramirez, the trio to work from the hill for Atlanta tonight so far. Braves have given the Nationals 2 unearned runs tonight. Washington leads 4-0. Fly ball shallow left, playable for Tucker. And Harper's retired, 1 out in the 7th. So Bryce 1 for 4. Here's Rendon. A third inning double highlights his night at the plate. We'll wrap up our series with Washington here tomorrow afternoon. Brandon McCarthy will try to make it 3-0 for Atlanta. A.J. Cole, who the Braves battered in Atlanta, gets the ball in the series wrap up for the Nationals. Braves live at 12:30 Eastern Time. First pitch at 1:05.
Jose coming in, pounding the strike zone. That's good to see.
That's a good combo.
He's had a good changeup, and he used it effectively in Colorado.
Swinging butt will stay foul. And still 0-2. Homer Bailey flirted with a no-hitter tonight. But the Phillies took care of that in the 6th inning. It's now Cincinnati 1, Philly 1 in the 7th inning. It's Bailey versus Nola at Citizens Bank Park.
It's a good matchup.
Phillies trying to get to 500. The Reds at 2-7 on the year.
Sad part about that outfit is that guy's a senator for somebody.
Pulled foul past third.
Trying to go incognito tonight, but no.
That is not the Admiral of Lake Lanier, John Wicks. That's the Admiral of Nationals Park.
It's not Captain Obvious.
Pitch.
That's what his banner says, his sash.
He must be the guy that is in charge of the weather delays here in Washington. Play or no play, sir. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No swing. It's 2-2 to Rendon. Rendon, as we told you, 3 multi-hit games in his last 4 played. He's got 8 hits in his last 17 at bats. One of the few hot hitters in the early weeks of the season for Washington. But in that stretch, he's only knocked in 1 run. Zimmerman on deck. The pitch. Popped up. And at the screen, room for Perez to handle Rendon's pop. 2 down. So Jose's gotten the first 2 without incident. Here's Zimmerman, the Nationals' first baseman, and a big first inning 2-run triple. He's grounded out and struck out since.
Yeah, that got him up over 100. He slipped back a little bit to 118.
After the Braves leave town, the Nationals will host the Rockies for 4 games. And they have an interesting road trip. Starting on Monday the 16th. Another showdown with the New York Mets, this time at Citi Field. They'll then fly cross country and take on the Dodgers. And then 3 in San Francisco. Dodgers off to a slow start. They've got Oakland at Dodger Stadium tonight. Alex Wood was scheduled to start that game. He was pushed back because of food poisoning.
Is that right?
So Alex will pitch tomorrow. LA missing Justin Turner. Top 3 hitters for the Dodgers, a .261 on base percentage. And a swing and a miss. Very impressive. 1, 2, 3, 4 Ramirez. That ends the Nationals 7th. Zimmerman, despite his early inning heroics, a frustrated man. We go to the 8th. Up on the mound tonight, a couple of flamethrowers. Mike Foltynewicz for the Braves, Steven Strasburg for the Nationals. And the Nationals right-handers had the better time tonight. His offense has given him 4 runs to play with. And Strasburg Joe's held up his end of the bargain, firing a 3-hit shutout after Max Scherzer went the distance, allowing 2 hits last night.
Yeah, and only 1 walk. That was to Freeman in the first inning.
Atlanta still has 6 outs left. Let's see if they can get something started with Flaherty, Perez, and then Ramirez scheduled. 4-0 Washington. 2 Atlanta errors have allowed 2 runs.
No one playing catch in their bullpen, so his pitch count is still low for this time of the ball game. Strasburg in control.
At one point, Steven retired 12 consecutive. He's retired 17 of his last 18 Braves hitters, including the last 5.
And I think this is probably his first 3-0 count of the night.
And a 4-pitch walk gets things started in the Braves' 8th. So here's Perez, who's played pepper with Wilmer Defoe at second base twice. 2 groundouts to second, makes him 0 for 2. Now the Nationals' pen begins to stir. Should be at the top of the order lurking for Atlanta here in the 8th. And Strasburg has missed with 5 in a row to start the 8th.
You're down 4. Good idea to wait and see if he's going to throw you a strike.
He did. And the count even, 1-1. Big story in Baltimore tonight. That game's in the 8th inning. Aaron Sanchez has a no-hitter for Toronto through 7. And he leads 1-0 over the Orioles. Keep an eye on that pitch. Got on and missed. 1-2. .90 pitches for Strasburg. He's got Charlie Culberson waiting on deck. And fouled back.
Perez has made pretty good contact today. Going to right field. He seems to like going that way. What we've learned about him.
First man up is Sammy Solis. And the 1-2. Good stop by Severino. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chip Hale giving the signs. Derek Lilliquist, the pitching coach, right next to Dave Martinez here. Breaking ball missed. Full count.
Tough pitch to lay off, but he's run it full. Good job by Perez.
Full count. Here it is. Driven toward right, but right at Bryce Harper. Carlos hit it hard, but he's out number 1 in the 8th inning. And it will be Charlie Culberson pinch hitting for Ramirez. Ramirez worked a 1-2-3 inning of relief with a strikeout.
Charlie celebrating a birthday today. 29. And that's young.
Another shot toward right. This one curling away from Harper. No play for him. That's into the crowd announced at 19,357.
Mentioned that game in Baltimore. They're having a little struggle with cold weather down there and attendance, huh?
Apparently so. A lot of cold weather sites. 33 degrees in Cleveland, 35 in Minneapolis. White Sox had a 35-degree day. 43 in Philly, 45 degrees here in Washington. Real spring weather can't come soon enough.
Maybe the lowest attendance in Baltimore Camden Yards history.
7,915 announced at Oriole Park tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. I think the official attendance at White Sox Park yesterday in that snow-a-thon was in the 700s for their game. And again, funny that Tampa Bay, that plays in a dome stadium, went to Chicago and beat them again today, 6-5 on the south side. 2-1 count. Again to the right side. Culberson still alive. It's now 2-2. Braves, the 4th big league organization for Charlie Culberson. Giants, Rockies, and Dodgers his previous stops. The pitch is taken low. Another full count from Strasburg. He's gone 4 straight balls to Flaherty, 3-2 to Perez, now 3-2 to Culberson.
Yeah, he's really battling here, but running out of gas, and that left-hander that's up, Solis probably getting ready for Inciarte if he comes up.
And this is what the Braves weren't able to do with Strasburg in the early innings. When Steven got to 2 strikes, the at-bat was over pretty quickly. Perez fouled off a couple of pitches. Now Culberson's doing that, as Steven finally hit the century mark in deliveries tonight. 50 pitches through 4 innings. He's at 50 pitches with 1 out in the 8th inning since that point, and pulled foul past Ron Washington, and that'll ricochet into the stands.
Good at bat by Charlie.
Well, we've said it a lot, we'll keep saying it. Braves do good work in the late innings. Braves trying to give the Nationals a finish with their final 5 outs. Not to be for Culberson, who swings and misses. Strasburg pulled a string and got his man for strikeout number 8.
That's not what you're looking for from him this late in the ball game. It is a 3-2 changeup, and it was a beauty.
So Charlie will foul that away. And Dave Martinez makes his way to the center of the diamond. Strasburg's thrown 102 pitches. He's going to let him try to finish the 8th inning. In this day and age in Major League Baseball, what you just saw is something you seldom see.
He was asking Strasburg a lot of questions, and Steve was saying yes to all of them, and most of them must have been that he's okay and he wants to finish.
So Ender Inciarte stands in the way of Strasburg in the 8th. The man aboard, 2 outs, 4-0 game. Ender 1 for 3. Little ground ball hit to the right side. Defoe shovels to first, and Strasburg does get through 8 complete. 8 strikeouts, 2 walks, 103 pitches. What a night for Steven Strasburg.
Brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Delta Airlines. And by your local Ford dealer.
Beautiful shots all around Washington, D.C., picked up by our fine videographer, Kevin Allison. Here in our nation's capital, we go to the home eighth. It's A.J. Minter to face the bottom part of the Nationals order. Washington 4, Atlanta nothing. Minter delivers low to Michael Taylor, who's had a quiet night. He has not gotten the ball out of the infield. He's 0 for 3.
Fifth game for AJ. He has not given up a run. He's only given up 1 hit in his first 4 outings. 2 of those were against Washington, a total of 2 1/3 innings. No hits, a couple of walks, and oddly, no strikeouts so far on the year.
3 balls, no strikes. Mentioned the excellent bullpen work for the Braves in 2018. If there is a blemish, it's walks. Braves have put too many base runners on here in the month of April. Not counting tonight's action, 22 walks in 27 2/3 innings. But only 3 earned runs in April coming into action tonight. Minter rallies to fill up the count. Taylor 3 balls, 2 strikes. Dusty Baker gave Michael Taylor a lot of time in the outfield once Eaton got hurt. And Taylor had a great season and blew up in postseason play against the Cubs. In the 5-game series with Chicago, Taylor hit 2 homers, drove in 8 runs, and hit .333. And after a 19-homer season in 118 games and 399 at-bats. Stole 17 bags and played an excellent outfield. But he just struck out. There's that first one for Minter. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball for out number 1.
First of many for AJ. Now Michael Taylor owes a lot to Dusty Baker too, who put him out there and said, "You're going to play. Show us what you can do. You don't have to look over your shoulder." And he produced.
Defoe's been a pest tonight. He's gotten on base twice and he scored twice. And takes a ball high. Speaking of Dusty Baker, the Giants hired him. He's a special advisor to the general manager out in San Francisco. So for Dusty, back to where his managerial career began with the Giants. 1-0 pitch. And upstairs, ball 2. It was a very nice story on Dusty Baker in one of the Washington papers last week, where he opened up about his disappointment in not coming back to manage the Nationals and the great relationships he created with guys like Bryce Harper on this team. Dusty did some great work in all of his managerial spots with the Giants. Got the Cubs to the playoffs, got the Reds to the playoffs, took this team to the playoffs. Don't know that he really gets his due as a major league manager.
It's true.
Yeah, great that he's still involved in the game that he's done so much good for. As that one shot past Flaherty by Wilmer Defoe. He turned on that baby, got a cutter and didn't miss it. And he'll stand at second with a 1-out double. A 2-hit night for Defoe. And Severino will get a chance to try to drive him home.
Cutter stayed out over the plate a little bit, tried to come in the back door, and with Flaherty playing even with the bag, didn't have time to react. Oh, Dusty did a great job. I was shocked that they didn't bring him back here. I'm sure his players were too.
Yeah, the gist of the article was that Dusty's sense was that the decision to bring in Dave Martinez didn't come from Mike Rizzo. It came from upper management, if not the ownership, after another first-round playoff exit by the Nationals. Now Defoe's going to try to steal third. The throw right on the money. And C.B. Buckner says you're out. So Defoe got greedy. He's thrown out, 2 away. Nice throw by Perez.
That looked like that was right on the bag. And it was. And his hand slid right into the glove of Ryan.
So 2 outs, a 1-1 count for Severino. And he drives one toward Tucker in left. He'll back up and make the play. And Minter gets out of the 8th inning with a strikeout, his first of the season. Last call for Atlanta as we head to the 9th inning. It'll be Ozzie Albies, Freddie Freeman, and Nick Markakis coming up. It's 4-0 Washington in Game 2. Park, 3 teams over 30 days with the Braves, Atlanta Hawks, and Atlanta United all month long, presented by Advance Auto Parts. Chip and Joe with Kelsey Wingert as we head to the 9th. It's 4-0 Nationals. Braves trying to avoid back-to-back shutouts. Last time the Braves were shut out in consecutive games was September 1st and 2nd, 2014.
Is that right?
Against the Phillies.
Well, it goes back 19 innings to Colorado. 19 straight without a run. The numbers for Solis through 4 outings.
Strasburg was brilliant. 8 innings of 3 hit ball with 8 strikeouts. Don't know how differently the game might have turned if Albies had not been picked off trying to move from 2nd to 3rd on a stolen base attempt versus Strasburg. Ozzie doubled in that inning. The Braves didn't get a hit until the 2nd inning. And then their 3rd and final hit, the 6th. Atlanta didn't get a runner to 2nd base last night. They haven't gotten one to 3rd tonight. As Scherzer and Strasburg have been overpowering in the first 2 games. Remember, Atlanta came to town being hosted by a Nationals club that had a 5-game losing streak. Like Strasburg and Scherzer can fix that pretty quick.
So Solis himself was pretty overpowering in an outing against the Braves on April 3rd in relief of A.J. Cole, who worked the 7th inning, struck out the side. Borges, Inciarte, and Albies.
Ground ball. Defoe can't get it, and Albies with a base hit. He's thinking about 2. Harper got to it late, and Ozzie made him pay. A routine ground ball double to the right fielder, Bryce Harper, off the bat of Ozzie Albies. Watch this.
He's done it again. He did it in Colorado. Curveball. Stayed back enough to pop it through there. And hustling right away. He's so explosive. And once he reads it, you're just kind of lollygagging in after the ball. He's going to take that extra base.
So a chance for Freeman with a man in scoring position, nobody out. And he ropes one to center. That ball is going to be caught by Taylor. What a grab in center field. Hit right at him. And at the last moment, Taylor came in and snagged it to rob Freeman of a hit.
That might have been knuckling a little bit too. What a play. Late start, but got to it and held on.
So a fine catch by Taylor takes care of Freddie. Here's Markakis. They go for 3. Braves try to get on the board in the 9th. And that's upstairs, ball 1. Phillies lead the Reds 2-1, bottom 8. Mets Miami tied 6-6. That one's in the 8th. Here it's 4-0 Nationals in the 9th. Guessing the Sanchez no-hit bid is over in Baltimore. Toronto leads 2-1. That game's in the 9th. Boston creaming the Yankees 14-1 in the 7th.
Whoa.
Can't wait to read the Post back page tomorrow after that. One of the headlines in the sports pages the other day after Giancarlo Stanton had another 5 strikeout game, they said it's a Jean car wreck. Welcome to New York. Boston riding an 8-game winning streak. 3-0 count for Markakis, and he takes a free pass. All help appreciated. Solis has given up a double, a hard hit ball, and now a walk. And Preston Tucker, the scheduled hitter for Atlanta. Kurt Suzuki's going to grab a bat and pinch hit for him. And Dave Martinez is going to have to go to the bullpen mound and go get Sammy Solis. So for the moment, the Nationals lead is 4. Atlanta threatening with 2 outs left in their quiver. Kurt Suzuki will be the Atlanta pinch hitter. 2 on, 1 out. In Washington, it's coming your way tomorrow afternoon. Join us at 12:30 for Braves Live over on Fox Sports Southeast. And Brandon McCarthy will take on Bryce Harper in the Nationals, seeking his 3rd win as a member of the Braves starting rotation. It's our April in the ATL coverage presented by Advance Auto Parts. That's Ryan Madsen. And he was one of the trio of relievers the Nationals acquired at the deadline last year, and he helped revitalize their relief corps. He had a great run with Washington. 20 games, 3-0, 1.37 ERA.
First saw him in Philadelphia. Low three-quarter arm action, or used to. Sinker, slider.
And a whopping 28 strikeouts in 19 2/3 relief innings. He's a man very happy to be pitching in the major leagues again after 3 injury-plagued seasons. That's down the right field line. Zimmerman near the railing, slammed into that and ran out of room for strike 1.
And that was not an arm angle that I'm familiar with Madsen.
Yeah, Defoe was trying to tell Zimmerman, watch out, but I think he gave the warning a little too late. Ryan's all right. No balls and a strike for Kurt Suzuki, pinch hitting. 2 on. And fouled away. It's 0-2. Madsen was always a high appearance, 1-inning guy for the Philadelphia Phillies with a big arm. He came over with Sean Doolittle for Jesus Luzardo, Sheldon Noyce, and Blake Trinan July 16th last year.
That's not often you get 2 quality relievers from the same team in the same deal.
Swing and a fly ball. That's crushed deep toward left field. That ball is going to die into the glove of Goodwin. Kurt hit it right on the button, but Goodwin ran it down for a heartbreaking second out. Thought that had a chance to get to the bullpen fence.
Me too. He kind of had to pick it off the ground, though. It was a breaking ball. He didn't get full extension on it.
So Dansby will try to keep the game alive for Ryan Flaherty. Dansby, a second inning single. He's 1 for 3. And this is a save situation for Madsen. He came in with 2 men on, the tying run in the on-deck circle. That's one of the prerequisites for the save. Strasburg hoping to win it. The pitch. Over but low, ball 1. First look at Ryan Madsen for Dansby Swanson. Little tapper is rolled foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And as you can see, Madsen throws hard, and he's got that downer slider that makes it awfully tough to pick up the difference between the 2.
Swing and a drive, hammered down the left field line. That ball is fair and up against the wall. 1 run scores. Dansby with a double. The Braves take care of the shutout bid, and now they'll bring the tying run to the plate with 2 outs. Another multi-hit game for Dansby Swanson. How big is that catch by Taylor looking now?
Well, not just that, but the ball that Suzuki hit that was peppered pretty well too. That short hops the wall. Giving him a finish again.
Second and third, 2 outs for Ryan Flaherty, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. And Severino knocks that down. Nobody up in the Nationals bullpen. Braves down to their last out. If Flaherty can reach, you've got Perez and then the pitcher spot. A 4-1 game. The run score belongs to Sammy Solis. Even count. Just in case the Atlanta bullpen is working. One ball, one strike.
A little bit all over the place. That was a straight changeup. He's fortunate that it missed far enough outside that it wasn't hittable. Get a good pitch. Tying run at the plate.
He got one, fouled it back though. 2-2.
Good swing.
So the Braves are down to their final strike. Markakis 90 feet away. Swanson at second with a 2-hit night. And now the 2-2 pitch. Struck him out. And Flaherty says that ball was low. His opinion doesn't count. Brian Onora gives Madsen the call, and the Nationals hang on in the 9th inning and have won the series outright with a 4-1 final score.
Oh boy. Very borderline.
But a pitcher's pitch goes Madsen's way, and how apropos is that considering the night Steven Strasburg had, Joe? 8 innings of 3-hit shutout ball. He beats the Braves, and Atlanta will try to salvage 1 out of 3 here tomorrow afternoon.
Just outstanding starting pitching from Scherzer and Strasburg. The difference of the first 2 nights of this series.
So it's McCarthy and Cole tomorrow afternoon. Join us at 12:30 for Braves Live. And speaking of Braves Live, the Braves postgame show presented by Xfinity is coming up. Jerome is standing by in our Atlanta studios.